Hey everybody, I'm Doug Keeling and I'm back with 5 Photoshop tips in 5 minutes or less. So my goal is for my channel to just be about learning, and I like to learn a lot of different things, and I like to become efficient at things if I can. So my goal is to help you become as efficient as possible at Photoshop and hopefully other programs as well. So part of becoming efficient is moving quickly through the Photoshop interface, and the best way to do that is by using keyboard shortcuts. So tip number 1, pretty simple, but learn shortcuts. They are your friends. So start simple with the ones that map over to other applications like Command or Control C to copy, and Command V to paste, and Command X to cut. Nothing else will improve your workflow faster than realizing that there are simple ways of doing things, like holding spacebar in Photoshop brings up the hand tool so you can quickly move around, or that you can cycle through blending modes by pressing Shift, plus, or minus on any particular layer. Learn shortcuts, they'll make you super speedy. Tip number 2 relates to cutting things out. So if you're looking for perfection and accuracy, use the pen tool. The quick selection tool is a great choice, but even then you may need to refine parts of your selection with the pen tool, and if it's a complicated item, you're definitely going to have to spend some time doing that. Everybody likes to use wonderful pictures, where the object you have to cut out is on a nice background and there's lots of contrast, so you can easily cut things out. But to be honest, that's just not the average person's reality. So recently I had to cut out this picture of a forklift for a client's project. This is what they sent me, and this is what I have to work with. So while I could start with some other tools, the pen tool is ultimately going to give me the best accuracy and flexibility in the long run. Tip 3 takes this concept even further. So sometimes I like to save my selections. Sure, you can save an actual selection as an alpha channel, or you can save a path in the paths palette, but by far the easiest way to do this for me is by simply drawing a shape with the pen tool. So make sure the pen tool is set to shape mode and just start tracing. Once you have a couple anchor points put down, you can actually go over and lower the opacity of the shape layer so that you can easily see through it. While you're working with the pen tool, by pressing Alt or Command, you can change which tool you're using. So if you need to use the Add Anchor Point tool or the Convert Anchor Point tool, they're all there by using just a couple commands with Command and Option or Control and Alt. That brings us to tip number 4. When you're all done, you're going to end up with a path, a shape, that you can always go back and modify or refine further. So when you need to actually turn this into a selection, you can right-click and use the menu command to convert the path to a selection. Or if you've been paying attention and you're starting to get the idea of what I'm talking about, just press Command Enter. It does the same thing and you get your marching ants. All these things may sound basic, but if you're new to Photoshop and you want to get better, keyboard shortcuts are going to get you there fast. Tip number 5 is in a completely different vein, but it's super important. Check your spelling. It takes seconds, and it can, no, definitely will, save you time and money in the long run. So while this is something I typically do on projects, I was recently reminded what a mistake it can be to ignore this step when I hurriedly ordered some print materials for a client, and then I found one misspelled word when the printed items actually arrived. So take the extra 30 seconds and check your spelling so you don't look ignorant. Alright, with that, I'm Doug Keeling. Please consider subscribing to my channel, like the video, share it, and I'll catch you on the next one.